welcome back, or at least I should say hello to you tea lovers out there. If you found this video, you probably love tea just like I do. Today I'm going to show you how I make a nettle leaf tea with a few other special things like marshmallow and licorice root and a few marigold leaves that we dried from our garden this year. Now, I used to buy teas packaged from the grocery store, as I'm sure most of you do as well, and there's nothing wrong with that, but because we love to garden, I thought, well, I bet you I could grow some of these loose leaf plants myself, dry it, and make some of my own teas. And so I recently bought some loose leaf tea from our local health food store in packages like this, and I'm experimenting with teas to see what kind of tastes I like, doing some research about all the benefits about certain plants, and basically I'm trying to get a list together of plants that I'd like to grow in our garden so that I can make these teas for us in future. Not only does it taste good, but it's also very healthy for you. For example, nettle leaf has a lot of antioxidants and vitamins in it, like vitamin C and D, vitamin K, iron, magnesium, zinc, as well as fatty acids. So definitely a really good plant to be having tea from, as well as some marshmallow root, which tastes nice and sweet, and then licorice, which I really like the flavor. It gives it a really nice undertone. So I'm gonna combine all of this into my pot here. Now, if you've already made tea before, I like to keep my leftover tea in a container, I don't know, to add to the garden, maybe as compost, or throw it in foods that, like a long soup that'll cook or something like that. Or you could throw it away if you don't really want to use it again. And so this recipe that I have experimented with is 2 teaspoons of nettle leaf tea, and then 1 teaspoon of licorice root, marshmallow, and these marigold leaves. Now, if you're interested in experimenting with loose leaf tea yourself, what I suggest you do is just start with 1 teaspoon of something and test it out with some water. Get a good idea of what it tastes like. I like to also smell it. Sometimes I have packets beside each other and sniff them and imagine what kind of smells would go well together. But you could, the basic way to start is just with a teaspoon of some kind of tea, and then you can try that on its own, or when I started this recipe I experimented with a teaspoon of each of these ingredients that smelled like they would go well together, and then I bumped up the nettle leaf because it's so healthy and I wasn't really getting an overbearing amount of nettle, so I thought, well, I could probably up it a little bit. So that was 2 teaspoons of nettle leaf, 1 teaspoon of marshmallow. And this is just average, right? Because some will heap up a bit, some will, like this licorice root is a bit harder, so I'm not heaping it up that much. And then the marigold leaves are really light, so I'm, fluffing it up a little bit. It also adds a beautiful color and a little bit of an acidic taste. Like if you smell it, it's kind of acidy and sweet. I don't know how that's even possible. And then I pour some water over, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a little while. This pot makes roughly 2 cups of tea, so I would say that is roughly 500 milliliters. But whatever you've got at home, start with a teaspoon and you can always up it from there. Super tasty. I like it. Now, if this is not to your liking, you can always make some notes of what you've tried and add some more later that you maybe like more marshmallow root, or the licorice is just not kicking enough, you can add a little more. And obviously, the longer this stays here, it steeps, the better. It'll just keep getting more and more delicious, really. So I'm even going to keep adding water here. Also, if this taste is not really to your liking and you like it more sweet, or it's just a little bit too earthy, you can always add some honey or agave syrup, any kind of sweetener that you like. I like to just taste it plainly as it is first, see how I like it, and then if necessary add some sweetener. Well, thank you so much for joining me as I make myself a cup of tea, and I hope that you can try this recipe, get some of these ingredients, and make some of your own loose leaf tea. I'll be making up a jar so we can keep it in our cupboards here, so I can make some nettle leaf tea anytime I want. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you around.